Põllupäevik.
Tere head kuulajad, 10. juuli, järgmine Viljaröst eetris ja täna siis teeme saadet jälle natuke teistsugusena, et kui me eelmine saade juba mainisin ette ära, et tuleb inglise keeles ja nii ongi, sest et kahjuks on laiast maailmast leitavad tippspetsialistid ikkagi paraku rääkimas inglise keelt, nii et nii on, aga tänane saade siis keskendub peaasjalikult nisule ja nisuturule kõige suuremas osas, sest et see inimene, kes meil täna külas on, tema peamiselt kauplebki nisuga. Ja muidugi meil on saates ka Timo, meie viljaäri tootejuht. Tere Timo!
Tere kõigile!
Ja Timo, siis sina äkki võib-olla ka saaksid ette öelda juba mõned sõnad siis selle saate külase kohta, kes meil täna saatesse on leitud.
Täna on meil saates viljamaakler Dalius Keblikas, kes on käinud Eestis juba tegelikult ka meie seminaridel varasemalt esinemas, et kuskil 7 aastat tagasi. Ja võib-olla Dalius ütleb paar sõna enda kohta ise.
Hello Dalius, Timo mentioned already a few words, but you can also say who you are, what are you doing and what is your main business?
Hello to everybody, and I think I do not need long introduction because I was doing some years ago, very long one, I think it's still all remember me.
You hold the record on that one.
But actually, myself, I'm agronomist and working in agriculture more than now it's more than 30 years, and in the grain business for the last almost 25. So doing brokerage of grains from Baltics, and actually now from all Europe to all the world, and Estonia one of my customers.
Okay, yeah, really interesting. But yeah, going into the markets just a bit, as we know that in the southern parts of Europe or in also like the Black Sea region already harvest is going on. Do you know some kind of data, what kind of are the yields that farmers are getting and what is the quality like? Because the quality is also really important part in the grain business.
You know, picture in south and the market in south is a changing same as we have in the north. And the main topic is about the delay of the harvest. Even they all was considered that everything, also months ago, I would say that harvest would start in north around 25. Okay, maybe worst case scenario end of July. Today we are talking about some 5 or 10th August already. And in south it's the same story. With rains a little bit, with all weather, they started harvest but all delaying. And if you look at Romania, Bulgaria, all this area, I think it's done a bit more than 50%. If we're talking Ukraine, it's only 10 to 15%. I'm talking on wheat. Barley is of course more, but if we're talking wheat, which is most important for us, this is only such part. And same with Russia. With Russia also they delay. And then, of course, have a big influence on the market, on prices and so on.
Okay, so buyers are now a little bit nervous because not a lot of goods on the market at the moment.
You can imagine even Ukraine is a big country, yeah? But when 5 Panamaxes is waiting to load barley to China, yeah, then, of course, prices is going up. And I think one of the reasons, if we will start to talk about the commodities as a separate, today, barley, it's a hot topic in Ukraine, but same time also starting to be hot with us. Premiums and prices was increased, and today in Ukraine they are paying same price for barley as for feed wheat. And then of course farmers is selling first barley because in the mentality wheat need to cost more. Even it's not maybe true, but they are thinking like that. And then this sickness is coming to us. Because who was selling feed wheat from Ukraine to Spain, they cannot get wheat. And also due to fact that quality is better than they expected, they was all considered will be low quality. Then they finally, maybe first cuts was not good, but now all 12.5 or even 13 Pro.
Oh, that's really okay.
Yeah, that's okay. And then even, maybe in Romania in average will be a bit lower protein than last year, but in general it's also 12.5, no 11. So 11.5 feed wheat is the most demanded today for the spot. It means for August and for September.
But you mentioned Spain and before the harvest, everybody was thinking that Spain will have a huge crop, but what's the real situation down there?
The real situation we will see in the spring, when all the will be counted. But today, first of all, we have some sales done before. So it means someone like big guys like ADM, like Kovco, like Cargill, they sold long time in advance, delivery in August. And not really Spanish was considered that August need to be from the Spain. Some part, yes, but more like milling, but not feed. And then now they need to deliver, and probably due to flat price higher in the past, they have deliveries at a higher price, and they now need to deliver in due time. And August is the most important. Last, what we was doing also from Baltics to now to cover these shorts, let's call it, then everything about delivery in August. How to have a vessel arrival in August, which is, I can tell you, with us, months ago was okay, but now it's not.
Yeah, that is basically tomorrow.
Yeah, it's almost tomorrow. Yeah.
But I think Spain has done also some cuts. So what are the yields there? What they are expecting?
Actually, Spain, if to look 2 years history, 2 years ago, there was hardly above the 10 million, all grains. This last year, there was above 18 or 20, even close. This year, now they're talking 27.
Yeah, that's the difference of having rain and having no rain.
Yeah, but same story everywhere in Europe. We are selling in euros. And these prices today in euros, it's a really catastrophe for the European farmer. Because they are very low in euros. They are very good in dollars, still very good in dollars. Because if you are talking milling wheat, for example, last year when we was doing August and September, milling wheat from Russia was 215, 220, 230 was miracle. Today we're trading 230 from Russia.
In dollars.
In dollars,
yeah.
And even higher, our prices is 245 and higher in dollars, but we are too expensive and very cheap in euros.
Yeah, that's the truth. But talk about France as well, because France is also really important in wheat production as well. So harvesting is also delayed a bit, but as we see, like there's a really big heat wave in the southern Europe. So yeah, harvesting must be going on there as well.
France started harvest. First impression was that protein is lower, and that's probably true. Protein is lower, and that's of course coming from same as we have in Spain, that good harvest, but lower protein due to higher yields. But quality in general, what I hear from mills in Morocco, who did the first test and so on, they said that actually it's much better than last year because protein is one, but they have good test weight up to 84 kilo. Then falling number is okay. All milling like W and so on, it's also fine. It's only protein what they're missing, but they said it's not a problem. We will buy from Baltics or somewhere else. We need to add maybe 0.5% of protein, which is not a drama. But even with 10.5 protein what they tested, it sounds very good wheat. But I think in north could be that we will have lower a bit yields, but better protein. This is what also French cooperatives are expecting.
Oh,
but so far, these talks that crop will be again more around 30, it's not true. All talking 32, 35, which is also 7-8 million more than last year. And this 7-8 million need to find a home to the short countries. So it means we need to compete with them. And this year will be special year for us as well on that one, because Algeria for time being for them is, let's call it, not area they can sell.
Why is that?
It's political.
Okay.
It's simply, one said me that it's regarding the holidays visas, because a lot of Algerians, due to all history, they are coming to France for holidays. And looks like France is not giving them visas, and due to that, they are not buying French wheat already more than half year.
Interesting.
Yeah, Algeria in all tenders, I see it's not possible.
This is maybe a
and
chance
not
for
only
us.
origin, also companies like Soufflé, like Le Courrier, they cannot sell.
But regarding this 11.5, what this Algeria is buying, this is maybe a chance for us if you're having a big yield, lower quality. Otherwise, for us to find home for our quality milling wheat in this part where we are located with the freight is the most expensive thing to, not to Muuga, but to Sillamäe. I think this most far away place where to start loading. So I think if we can get to Algeria this year, it can be very good for the Baltics. Without that, would be very, very tricky.
I think we will need Algeria this year.
Yes, that's
for sure. And it's only because normally West Africa, all 11.5 or 11 or 12 Pro buying from France. Last year, there was exception. Then quality was bad. Test weight is not good and protein is not good. And we had the possibility to market our wheat like 11.5 Pro to West Africa, like say Nigeria or some Cameroon, Angola, and all these things. But this campaign, it will not be going like that because France so far looks like okay on the quality. And of course, they first where they will push their wheat, it will be to the all destinations to West Africa. Second, of course, France have no Algeria, so they probably will be even more aggressive to their destinations. Yeah, so for us, it will be Morocco. But Morocco, again, they are more linked to the price than something else. That means, again, we need to fight against France. And then Algeria. But Algeria, after they changed the rules for import that also Russian wheat, the main change was to put this back damage up to 1 with 180W. Then, of course, Russian wheat always can fly to Algeria. So it's more question about the price.
Yeah, that is true. Price is important. But let's talk about a little bit more about export campaign as well. Campaigns like Black Sea, is it already like they are sending out a lot of vessels with milling wheat and barley just to get the stuff out of the way and get some money moving?
As I said, a little bit all delay. This is why even this week I seen some inquiries from the not traditional buyers in our area, like Holbut before was almost 1 year disappeared at all. And he's working for East Africa, which is normally, due to logistics, need to go from Russia. But they was asking because not easy to get cheap wheat or early wheat from Russia. First of all, due to ruble and all delay, they really struggling with supply. And if all was dreaming to get from Russia prices at the beginning on the harvest pressure around $215, today reality is about $225 to $30. So, and of course they are testing all possible because maybe someone sold and then of course they are struggling to get the profit, and profit is not possible to get because of the price. So they are loading, but not with such speed what they would like to do and what they was expecting.
Okay.
So basically what you're saying, Dalius, regarding the price is that the current prices are holding because we have demand on nearby due to the delay of harvest, and the harvest is coming very big, and this is basically the last chance to sell with those prices. And
yeah, and I can tell you, this is always the main rule. You can make money if only your friend in trouble.
Yeah, but Timo already mentioned it as well. But how in general has it affected all of the premiums for like 11.5, 12.5, and also barley? Like barley you mentioned already. I understand that China has bought like 1 million or 1.5 million tons of barley.
Much, but
it's a lot.
Maybe we have even barley enough, but when you have some vessels delay, when prices increasing, then somebody saying, "Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe price is okay, but now you need to cover your short because your position is maybe $10."
On the wrong
cost.
side.
Yeah. So, and then of course, this is coming to us because then someone who was planning maybe to deliver to other destinations, they need to find from somewhere else, not from Ukraine. And then they are coming to France, they are coming to North Europe, to Germany or to us. And with us the same. First of all, with us crop will be not higher than last year on barley or even maybe lower. Okay, Germany is a bit different. But with us, when I'm looking statistics on barley, Estonia probably will be same or close to same as last year due to higher yields. Lithuania, maybe also we will get close to same, but area is smaller. And then Latvians, it's about 80 to 90,000 less compared with last year. So in principle, with this supply, we also cannot offer too much. And then second is logistics, which is also winter barley is less, a bit more spring, and of course you cannot offer barley at right time. So everything for later. Nobody wants to deliver now, and farmers thinking always same. The cheapest they need to sell the last one.
Yeah, but if you asked Martin about the premiums, and if you take, for example, this 11.5, then we can say, okay, you said it's improved, Dalius, but I would say that premiums were very bad historically. Now they are just a little bit bad. So they are still negative. They have improved for sure, but historically these premiums are not something fancy.
Yeah, but I would say if we are talking about the premiums and on the main this basic like 11.5, so you to have positive with us need to be very bad in France. Because how is premium calculated in France? You have September delivery month to Matif, and then you need to add the fobbing costs. It's around 5-6 euros. So if Matif plus 5-6, then it's September price over the September. Today, due to the fact that September is lower than December, 11 euros. So it means we are talking about negative premium from December Matif. And then spread on the freight, and that's very simple calculation. Normally, with this spread, what we have today, 10 euros and plus 5, with us, correct price is around minus 10 over the December. And actually, this is more or less, today we're at this level. Sellers is around 10, 11, 12. Buyers was at 15 the last traded, and then now nothing.
I would say this, maybe to Estonian farmers to understand that if we are here talking about this December Matif and prices are maybe not so attractive, then this September, what is 10 euros lower, this is trading every day. And this is like the everyday traded price, and it's much, much lower. So exactly what we have at the moment is, to look at this way, maybe it's not so bad to harvest a little bit later and be up north a little bit.
And this September Matif, if to look at the trade, in the past it was also not so much active, but now due to bigger crop in Romania, Bulgaria, all this Russians side, also France, they always used to trade September. Everything is priced over September and volume is big, and they are first selling over the that. And then it's coming to December. And of course, thank you for the funds, for this big money and so on. They also love this story that first month they cutting down, the next moving up, and this movement from one to another making money, because today no one else can pay so big carry how it's done from Matif. You cannot get from anywhere else for 4 months 10 euros.
But can also some of the buyers go to the US because the currency is quite favorable for Americans at the moment. So maybe also some kind of wheat can be bought in Africa from USA.
Actually, Nigeria in the history, in the past, was one of the main destinations for US wheat, for HRV. Then slowly was Russia, then slowly was coming to Baltics, and Baltics was, I think the record was maybe even 1 year before, we was doing close to 3 million tons. 2.5 for sure, maybe even a bit more if to count all together. But now, this year, and especially 2 months ago, US wheat was cheaper from them, from US than from us. It's this traditional 12.5 or HRV 11 was cheaper than from us. And of course, on paper is one, but in reality is different because you need to have constant supply. Some millers, they do not want to switch from one to another origin for 1 month or 2 months. They want to have program at least for 4 up to 6 months stable, because it's not only grain. When you're making flour, you need to add additives because bakeries in Africa, they are not so modern and as in Europe, and all this process is not so elastic. So actually, this takes time. But of course, some of them they used. And I know that also National Flour Mills of Nigeria booked some cargoes from US. Also another one, almost 100% switched to the US. But it's not 100%. But yeah, competition is there, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I also read some kind of expectations that the euro versus dollar can be even like up to 1.3. It's trading now at the moment like 1.17, so like 1.3 can be something like a game changer probably.
And this is also interesting that if you look currency rate on the spot and currency rate, for example, in December, it's also a huge difference against us, working against us, same as, of course, carry is adding. So actually in dollars, price even more than $2 per month in the carry, even something like $3. So actually
per month.
Yeah, for the month, even more expensive from us than from somewhere else. It's only one good that US normally is doing till October. And then they are switching to the corn, they are switching to the soybeans. And logistically they are weak to do volume. But then it's coming Argentina. And 2 years ago, Argentina was almost out of the market because of the low crop. But last year was the first year when they again back after 2 years silence. And we still feel it because normally Argentinian wheat is till April latest. This year, all summer, they was delivering to West Africa. And one of the reasons why we had these premiums stabilized on the old crop is due to Argentinian low prices. Because for them, in dollars, these 250 or 260 is a fantastic price.
Yeah, but as we speak, the main demand is coming from Africa, and Africa is growing and so on. But what about this Africa production there on the wheat? How much that is changing, increasing?
Actually, when we're talking increasing, this is, of course, depends a lot on weather, and especially North Africa, which is biggest importer. If you take Egypt, if you take Algeria, Libya, Morocco, this is the biggest volume. Then, of course, Nigeria, this is biggest part. Nigeria is almost stable on the import. South Africa depends on the crop, but it's also some volume. But rest is not the most important. And then, of course, Morocco 2 years was very bad. This year was a bit better, and I think the import to Morocco will be less than last year.
But like these destination countries, how has like their demands for the quality changed? Like let's say like during past 10 years, like are there some kind of special quality measurements that they're looking more into now that they didn't in the early years?
I would say in general, maybe not much. I think it's we feel it a bit maybe more because in the past our wheat was better quality. Was less quantity of varieties. It was all our wheat was based on German A, E type varieties. Then quality, whatever, it's even 12 protein was very good because baking was okay. But now we have everything. When I am looking at the list of varieties in Lithuania, it's you can find almost 25 or 30 varieties, and they are from the biscuit wheat to the high protein milling wheat, and everything goes to same vessel. And then you can imagine that this is more or less how you are lucky to get from which halt and which truck it was put in this. So actually, problem is our wheat, and why we have sometimes complaints about wheat that our quality is maybe need to be better and so on. It's not because they changed requirements. It's because our wheat was too much blended, too much mixed. It's not so stable. And Russian is much more stable. Poland is much more stable than Baltic wheat.
But that, I think, is the reason why, while selling the vessels now, we need to have every 2,500 tons sublot need to be with contractual quality. So it's not that just load the vessel and you get one quality paper and that's it. You need to load very, very stable quality, and this is everything is manageable, but everything comes with the money, of course.
Yeah, it's and this again one, of course, stability in general. But you can imagine if a vessel is going to the discharge port for the sometimes up to 25 receivers. So, and then, of course, if you will put in one halt 12 Pro and another 13 Pro, in average is 12.5. But then if we will get this 12, definitely he will be not happy.
Yeah, why I also asked this question is that we also see in Estonia that we are having some issues with this wet gluten. So that is also one thing that has been a problem for us. So I can imagine that it's the same in Latvia and Lithuania maybe as well.
Yes, that you can say that this is coming, and for me it's also a question mark. Why is it really due to weather, or this is more again linked to the same varieties? Because we do not see such problem in Poland. Maybe in general a little bit weaker in Poland gluten, but not like with us. For 12.5 with them last year, for example, was 26. I would say 9 vessels from 10 was not a problem at all. With us was almost 50-50, or even would say only 30% was okay. Rest you needed maybe 12.7, 12.8 protein, which I think it's linked to the varieties, because when you are going protein 13 and higher, then this correlation with gluten much better. 13 is making 26 easy, and even 27, 28, and 14 Pro up to 30. So actually, I think problem is with varieties. This high yields varieties is more linked to the B and C, and this not really making gluten, which is really need to be. And at the beginning of campaign, gluten is better than in the end. It shows also that a lot of going not in the right direction, this gluten.
Regarding this gluten, I have a question, for Lithuania, is that how much this gluten is analyzed during the truck-by-truck intake? Because if farmers can deliver and the gluten is not measured truck by truck, then and this quality category is put based on protein, for example, then if the market is this way, then it a little bit makes sense on the farmer's perspective to grow those varieties where maybe protein is higher, yield is higher, but maybe gluten is missing. So, but how much in Lithuania you guys measure this gluten truck by truck? How's that done?
I can tell you in Lithuania, they are measuring much more than somewhere else. And not only by this express test, by Informatic or Infraneo, it's not only like that. This calibration, of course, at the beginning could be wrong because you need more tests done and with basic method to have a right calibration. And then at the beginning, of course, there is some protection maybe due to that. And then farmers is not happy because they looks like they are getting too low protein. But later, of course, it's coming to reality. But almost every place now, or at least bigger place, they have glutomatic. And they do at least from same farmer 1 test per day to check if the correlation is okay. And more, and for example, like starch company Amelina or Rocket Group in Panevėžys, they do every truck by glutomatic. And of course, it takes time, but they are doing it. And what to do if quality is not good enough, we need to find what is right, what is wrong. But I think if wheat is not burned by the heat or something wrong with the drying, then it should be all fine. In general, it's more linked to the conditions, how you're drying, how you're keeping, than it's linked to the something else.
Yeah, but you already mentioned Lithuania, but let's come to more into the Baltics. What kind of total crop may Lithuania and Latvia have this year? And maybe Timo can also comment for Estonia, because Timo has also crunched some numbers.
Last year, if total crop, if to take wheat, barley, pulses, all seeds, I think Baltics together was slightly above 12 million tons. And this year, I think we will be definitely above the 14 million tons. And if we are talking on wheat, so I think this year, okay, different guys have different numbers, but my impression, wheat will be about 9.3, 9.5 million tons via all 3 countries. And then that's almost 1.5 close to 1.5 million more than last year.
And the biggest leap will come from which country?
Wheat, of course, from Lithuania. Yeah, Estonians. To get 1 million is always not far away.
Yeah, but as I understand that Lithuania in total will have at the moment like a bumper crop, probably.
I think we are trying to be very close to the 2020 record.
Yeah.
But I think by yield per hectare, Estonia, I think we are more or less same. Latvia a bit less, but Lithuania and Estonia is close to same.
Yeah, but Timo, you can comment on the Estonian crop that you have.
In Estonia, we have fingers crossed that we will get total 2 million all grains together and 1 million on wheat. So this is the expectations. We have had quite a lot of rain because, as we say, rain makes grain. Now we need to hope that rain will not take grain, that the rain will end at some point. But I think everybody sees that on the fields, everything at the moment. Yeah, some bad places, of course, always are, but the average is very good. But we now need a little bit more sun, and then you get the harvest finally going. So that's the thing.
Yeah, that will take time a bit because our fields look really green at the moment. So, but that's the way it is. But Dalius, do you also know how much of this like Lithuanian grain, let's say for example Lithuanian grain, has been fixed by farmers ahead at the moment, like percentage-wise? Do you have some kind of estimation in that part?
Only one is clear tendency that every year is less and less.
And why is that?
I think first of all, of course, price is what we are getting. It's maybe not suits what we are spending to grow it.
Yeah, that's true.
And then of course farmers are hoping to the last minute because hope is the mother of everything. So even killing in the last end, but what to do? And I think this is the main reason that they hope that will be better. If they will be paid better, it's difficult to say. I think last year there was such maybe possibility, but again, one is motif, second is premium. And what is the last end is flat price for your what you delivered. It's a third one. I can tell you last year when I looked at the combination of everything as a flat price, there was top something in December, but for very, very short window. And then the next, at least in Lithuania, there was good prices in end of March, beginning April. But that also was a little bit technical. After was everything dropped down, but was some period, even full months, when they was all domestic guys was overpaying due to a short supply, was not enough offers, was not enough deliveries, and I know that I sold my brother wheat also in the spring, or priced, delivered it in August, but priced in the spring, was paid for strong 12.5, 230 euros, which was fantastic price, compare all the season. But I think this year could be totally different.
But in Lithuania, you have this system buying from farmers. Is the most common is that you first agree the premium, and then piece by piece this pricing starts. So it's a little bit different compared with us.
I agree. In Lithuania, if you would ask me who is the biggest speculator and playing casino, this is a farmer for sure. Some of them already 2 years pricing. Even the crop which was delivered 2 years already delivered to the Africa, but they are still pricing.
But in that case, if you have this premium system, but you are pricing later and later, and for example, you agree premium against the December motif, and we just spoke earlier with the spreads between the motifs, then farmer is basically, if they want to roll to the next one,
you need to pay difference.
Yeah, but if you pay every time 10 euros when some future is expanding
for 2 years,
for 2 years, then you're close to to zero at some point.
But I think some of them, they're probably close to same. As you said, they are close to zero because normally they are getting like 60 or 80% of the price as a basic price paid, and then the rest is coming from this pricing and the premium. And then, of course, if you're rolling and rolling, one day you will find out that it's not enough money to keep this position. But let's hope not many like that.
Yeah, but what has been your advice for your brother that who is a farmer for this year's crop that will be harvested probably in 1 month now? So,
it's always like that. I have common sentence that when church is close to you, you're not often coming to the priest. So this is always, when you know a lot, it's always difficult to decide and always difficult to choose what to do. Main rule, what I'm using with my brother and what we changed, I think maybe 3 years ago already. It's a little bit takes time because it's a bit related to the cash flow.
Yeah.
Then when I'm selling old crop wheat, let's call it, when I was selling wheat for 2024, I am buying inputs for 2025. It's not like I am selling 2025 crop and buying inputs at the same time. So my always was a topic that I need to know what I have, what quality, how it looks, how I can price, and so on. Just not to have a story that, I sold milling wheat, was calculating profit on milling wheat, and suddenly I cannot put these things because I have everything as a feed. But maybe then I could be able to use lower inputs and how this calculation, and I have much more time to decide what to do and how to do, because you, from the harvest till almost spring, you have still time to consider when these numbers is matching. And actually you can always catch some moment when the profit is existing. Within last 3 years, it was always profitable. It was not like, totally disaster. Even these high prices of fertilizers and high, I was never selling on top or buying on the lowest, but in average was okay.
Okay, but you give advice to your brother, but you have also been a grain purchaser on the other part as well in your working history. Now you're a grain broker. So how does your view on the market has changed in these different parts? How do different roles have changed your views? And which one is the most difficult one?
25 years, of course, you can write a book, but one is clear. If today, I would probably... It's not easy to be a grain trader, that's for sure. Because you always need to overpay and to sell below the replacement. And that's doesn't matter. Estonia probably going same, Lithuania is same. If you will ask Polish, it's always same. Then in Germany, maybe a bit different, but also it's difficult. So actually for the trader, it's probably the most hard. And of course, it's not back-to-back business. It's more speculation, trying to catch some day motif, next day maybe to sell, some next day to buy, and so on. Then as a farmer, I would say maybe the most stable. Maybe not always so profitable, but on the stability. And if you will look how really farms was developing within 25 years, and I started myself also in agro-concerns working with the farmers on advising and so on, it's the biggest step on the investments, on the thinking of way and creating of value. Because today, if you remember what farm was costing, 300 hectares farm 25 years ago and what it's costing today with all technologies and so on, it's a big value. Brokerage is, it's combination of everything. If you know both sides, you can always give for your customers good service. And of course, to make this, for me today, what I'm doing, it's not I'm going to work. It's a lifestyle, I would say. And I think for everyone who is working, the best to have work which is giving for you joy. To talk with the customers, to discuss situations. Every year is different story. Every year you can bring something new or consider something new. Yes, competition is every year also bigger, but as I say, competition is a power for the development.
Yeah, A lot of Estonian farmers are now a bit angry because you said like farming is the most easiest one.
It's not easiest, but the most stable.
Yeah, that's really interesting to hear because now farmers can understand how difficult is Timo's life because trading is the most difficult one.
Yeah, but Timo is a big man, so it's at least he pushed by the buyers and pushed by the sellers, he's still alive.
Okay, but coming into the coming months like August and September, just your gut feeling or how to say it, but price-wise, where are we or can we go, and what kind of possibilities should farmer look out for the price rise? So like different arguments on that part.
I think on supply side, if we're looking how the prices will be influenced by S&D, supply, demand, and vice versa, I think we can definitely go lower. Because if to look on wheat, I do not see at the moment something bullish or a bad story at all. And the next is corn. Corn so far also looking, I would say, great. Maybe Europe is a bit shaky, but the rest is okay. And Brazil, if you take Brazil and we look that Brazil showing, or US in their USDA report showing almost 10 million less than reality. So you can imagine what can happen if somebody will find out this figure. So it means corn can go below the $4 in Chicago, and then it means wheat also will follow. Because corn is big influence on everything. Then the question, if demand will come back, because actually we lost some demand or consumption during these years, and actually we lost not due to consumption wheat, mainly due to industrial use, which was going for the package, and this is related to the economy. An economy, I think you can tell me even better than what will be end of story between China and US, what will be between other important countries on this fighting. I think we need much better, or let's call it more quiet and peaceful environment in the world if we want this economy grow in the stable way. I think economy, it's more important for these prices than something else, because on supply side today is enough wheat.
And I think if you look at this dollar prices today, we are not that low that we
it's
can
it's
say
a high
that,
price. This is what I said, a high price in dollars, because before the war, everyone was okay, $190, $200. Today we're talking $230, $240, and we are saying that this is bad price. In dollars is okay, but because of the weakness of dollar, that's another story. If we will have 1 or 1.1 instead of 1.2, then everything would be okay. 10% higher, I think all would be not super happy, but happy.
Yeah, that would be doable.
Yeah. But I wanted to say that these prices will not boost the consumption yet. They need to go much lower to have a boost from there.
And the last question for you, 26 crop is also not far away. What kind of suggestions would you have for farmers in general for 26 crop hedging? Because we are now already offering 26 prices.
We are. Last few days, 195 feed wheat delivered to Muuga, X-crop.
195?
Yes, 195.
Okay.
Delivered to Muuga, X-crop.
Would
26.
you be buying?
No, I think looking at all environment, I would be maybe more selling, but but nobody paying in Lithuania. No, it's good price actually. 195. If to look what today we can pay what? Let's take Matif 206.
Yeah, roughly yes.
Yeah, 206. So it means if we're for price around -20 for the bigger vessels, it's the best case scenario. So and then fobbing cost and all margins so on 30. So it means we are talking about 175 versus 195. And my guess that maybe to get cheaper fertilizers will be possible later than now. So actually, it's a good money.
Yeah, to hedge now wheat and buy fertilizer later on.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, why we can offer it, it's not that we want to overpay or anything, but it's just a futures market like that. And these markets sometimes they are offering possibilities. So that's why we can do it. And of course, we need to, what is our cost on this thing is that we need to finance the security money against this if we are trading futures against what we are buying. But in principle, this is doable. This is nothing crazy that everybody can do it.
But actually, I was looking same on the 2025 crop, which is coming now, and I put it my target for my brother when I will see May motif around 230-235 range. Again, I will sell at least half of that.
But you sell motif then?
Yeah, I will sell motif. I would not touch premium until I do not know quality. But motif, I was a bit. Not lazy or had not a bit lazy or had not enough time when it was already. But when second chance will come, and I see it could be that it will come, I will do this for sure. And then this new crop, it makes sense to consider if such price, I think it's a good price.
Yeah, but like selling May futures, you still have a lot of time to get this 230 or 235. So
I think I'm not so optimistic.
Okay. Yeah, but thank you, Dalius, for coming to Estonia, because you drove all the way from Lithuania, having a crop tour, as you mentioned.
Thank you for invitation. It's a really pleasure to be here. And actually, Baltic Agro, it's the biggest my customer in Estonia and one of the biggest in the Baltics in general. And we was growing together over all these 30 years or even more. And then I'm really happy that even from the smaller Baltic country, we did still the biggest vessel ever of the grain exported from the Baltic states. It was loaded in 2012, I think.
Barley.
Yeah, barley 77,500. That's so far the biggest vessel loaded.
13-year record.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but thank you, Dalius. Yeah, once again, maybe we'll see you in our show once again in coming future.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Maybe I will learn some Estonian.
Aga suured tänud, head kuulajad. Ma arvan, et ega siin, mis siin ikka pikemalt rääkida, et infot sai siin kokku päris hoolega. Head koristuse ootust teile kõigile ja järgmine saade saab meil olema juba Timoga koos kahekesi, kus me räägime Baltic Agro vilja vastuvõtu tingimustest, nii et ka seal on mida oodata.
Tänud kuulamast kõigile, thank you Dalius ja järgmise korrani.
Thank you too.
Head aega.
Thank you.
Põllupäevik.